Hello and welcome back to another episode of Spectre Approved Podcast, a podcast where two gamers play a game where we can be a ninja, a dragoon, a void knight, or whatever we want and make our wildest dreams come true, as long as we kill chaos. I'm your host Adam Forrester and I'm joined once again by Fenris.
That's me. How's everyone doing today? I asked that knowing this is a audio medium and I'm not going to get any answers.
Yeah. But how are you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Not much to say on like personal stuff. I mean, work is starting to get busy but it's starting to warm up so I can take my bike out more, which is nice.
Yep.
Been enjoying that a lot.
And down in my neck of the woods, it is starting to get cold, so we can actually go out in the afternoon and not get burnt by a really hot sun. We can do park stuff in the afternoon and play sport outside again, and not have to do it really late in the afternoon or night, so it's good. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to comment on the fact that the sun is evil.
Yes, very much so. But, sorry, we're out of practice, everyone. We're out of our routine.
Yeah.
It has been in a few extra weeks.
Yeah, we had a couple hiccups along the way and had to bump back our recording day.
Yeah, thank you for that. It's all my fault because, work, and even though I'm on vacation at the moment, well, not vacation, but holidays at home, which is the best holiday, realistically, just being able to holiday in your own home.
Oh, yeah.
But it's still that busy type of, I'm not working, but I've got all this other appointment and life stuff that I need to get done in the small time off I get per year. But
and you
that's
have some
not
sick little people in your house.
Yeah, that doesn't help. Definitely does not help. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, which was one of my host picks. And it's an action RPG developed by Team Ninja in collaboration with Square Enix and released in March 2022 for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and PC. It reimagines the original Final Fantasy with a darker, more action-focused tone, inspired heavily by Souls-like and character action games. Which is why we're playing it first, as opposed to Final Fantasy 1. It was officially revealed at E3 2021, where it quickly gained attention, partly due to its darker tone and meme-worthy dialogue, which we will get into a bit later. The game was conceived as an alternate retelling and prequel to the original Final Fantasy, focusing on the origin of a certain character. And rather than a traditional JRPG, Square Enix intentionally pushed towards an action RPG or Souls-like hybrid, drawing on Team Ninja's strengths. A key part of development was public feedback through demos, released in 2021-2022. Early builds were criticized for performance and difficulty balancing, leading to some adjustments before launch. The game became famous online before launch because of its meme-heavy marketing, especially protagonist Jack, repeatedly declaring his desire to kill chaos. Despite mixed reactions to its presentation, many players and critics praised its combat depth and job system. Some key staff were Tetsuya Nomura, who, if you know Final Fantasy, you know Nomura, creative producer and character designer. Fumihiko Yasuda, who's the producer from Teen Ninja, Jin Fujiwara, also a big famous name at Square Enix, Kazushige Nojima, who was the scenario writer, and Mitsutoshi Sakamoto, who was the composer. The game launched on March 18th, 2022. A PC version arrived later on Steam in April 2023 after an initial Epic Game Store exclusivity period, which is quite interesting. Critical reception was mixed to positive overall, with Metacritic sitting around the low to mid 70s and OpenCritic sitting around a 76 average. I think that's one of our lower rated games that we've ever done. And I couldn't find anything on like the financial budget or like their target for sales. However, they did produce 3 DLC later to be released with a special edition. So obviously, like they probably met their target expectations there.
Yeah. And I mean, 76, while it's not great, but, you know...
It's low for Final Fantasy.
Yeah. And I can honestly see why, but I don't necessarily understand it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I don't have it up in front of me. Was this after 15?
Yes.
Okay, so they're probably still running off some bad faith after 15, after the abomination that was 15. And I can't even say that because I haven't played it.
No. You take those words out of your mouth, sir. 15 was amazing.
I may end up eating my words when we get there, but anything that needs me to watch an anime movie and read a book and play a game before actually getting to the main game itself, I'm not a fan of.
Well, see, that's the thing, is that, like, I will say this, and then we can move on, because we're not talking about 15 right now. You can play the base game and get everything you need out of it. If you want to pursue more, there's all the other stuff that you can do. And there is a lot of lore outside of the game, but you don't necessarily need all of that lore to play the game. It's not like you're playing the game and there's like skips in the story or stuff like that. Like the story of the game is in the game, but there's a lot of stuff that happens outside of that story, and you can get that in other media, but you don't have to if you don't want to.
Okay. Fair. So what's your history with this game in particular, and like first impressions?
This was the first time I ever played it. I enjoyed it. I did not know what I was walking into as far as like the combat structure or like the story or what they had planned on how they built the game. But overall, I liked what I played. It's definitely a lot less memey than the trailer hints at. Because the trailer that everyone made fun of was, you know, just a bunch of like images and videos of Jack going, I need to find chaos. Where's chaos? I have to kill chaos. And, you know, they do mention chaos quite a bit because, like, that's what the game's about, is, you know, finding chaos and destroying chaos. My entire time playing it, I was looking for not necessarily tie-ins, but where this game fit in the story, because it was reading as a remake, but at some point the remake turned into a prequel And then there at the very end, it tied it all up into a neat little bow that, yes, this is definitely a prequel and not a remake. And I like how they told that story.
Yep. And you played this PC version?
Yes.
Yep. And what was your end clock?
23.1 hours for the base game. I enjoyed it so much, I feel like I have to get the DLC and play through that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about this game. It probably would have been around 2023. So, pretty close to release. I feel like there was... Because I didn't own a good PC at the time. And I feel like there was even a separate release period between PlayStation and Xbox. Because I didn't have PS4 at the time either. However, once I got a PS4, I ended up buying the physical edition on PS4. And then I bought a digital edition on Xbox. And then I bought the Steam edition to play for the podcast. Because I got the complete edition with all the DLC. I played it briefly on Xbox, and I'm guessing it might have been before a difficulty balance because I died on the first level. I put the game down because I'm actually a really big fan of Team Ninja stuff. Like I grew up playing Ninja Gaiden on Xbox and Ninja Gaiden 2 on the 360 were big games for me. Never really gotten a Neo, but it's a series that I do want to get into. And same with Rise of the Ronin. So I'm a big hack and slash fan. However, difficulty is sometimes what makes me come unstuck. So I put the game down for a while and I thought, oh no, we are going to do Final Fantasy for the podcast. I was a little bit spoiled coming into it and knowing where the story went. So I'm like, oh, this will be a really good one to kind of start off the series. Particularly for yourself, Fenris, not really knowing where the story went at the time. And I want to get your opinion of it before we dive into like the mainstream Final Fantasy series itself.
Well, thank you for that. I now see why you did that, and
Yeah.
I'm grateful for you for doing that because it really does kind of lead into the very first game.
Yep. But this time around, I nearly went, shit, I'm not going to be able to get through this because there's a specific bit in the tutorial that I just got stuck on for ages and ages. And I just couldn't get past it. I watched videos on it and I was doing the button presses. I thought I was doing the button presses right, but there just must have been some input timing and I just couldn't get past this one bit in the tutorial. And I'm like, I might have to drop this game. But after that, like my opinion just changed dramatically after that. And I played through the game. I played through the first DLC, and then the second and third DLCs were very, very grindy, so I put them down for now. However, I will definitely go back to them. And I played this on Steam with the DLC and the main game. Ended up being 42 hours for myself.
Oh, well, yeah, you had the DLCs and stuff, so yeah, that makes sense. Overall, I thought this was a really fun game. The gameplay loop is basically just exactly what you got from the very first Final Fantasy game. Is you have these heroes that need to like save these crystals or whatever, and then while you do that, you fight the four big bads, and then you go and deal with chaos, and that's pretty much it. And all the while you're leveling up your job system, which was the most fantastic part of this entire game. I loved the job system in this game, and being able to play through some of my favorite Final Fantasy jobs in this game with this kind of combat was just amazing. It was, chef's kiss.
Yeah, and as someone who is like really new to Final Fantasy in a sense, like I've only ever beaten one of the games prior. I feel like this was also, while it's a great homage to long-time players like yourself that are familiar with all the job systems already, I feel like this gives a really good breadth of introduction to all the job systems that someone going into the series is gonna like be exposed to in the games, going through them.
Yeah, and then like there are some more, because you start off with swordsman, duelist, and pugilist. I know I'm saying that wrong, but pugilist is more fun to say than pugilist.
Punching with dogs.
Yeah. And then you can branch off and get Mage Lancer and Sword Fighter, which Sword Fighter is a new thing that I think they introduced for this game, because as far as I am aware, I don't think I've ever seen a Sword Fighter class. And then they have Ronin, Marauder, at Pilgrim, which is a DLC, and then Marksman, which is also a DLC. And then for the advanced jobs, you have Warrior, Thief, Monk, White Mage, Black Mage, Red Mage, Dragoon, Knight, Berserker, Samurai, Evoker, and Hunter. Evoker and Hunter were the DLC ones for the advanced jobs. And I just want to... I kind of sold myself short on this, because as a Dragoon, I was using an axe. And I quickly leveled through that, and I was very disappointed in that. And then later I realized that you can change your weapons, and I didn't know that.
Yep. Yeah. So the class system is so in depth, but also really easy to use. Because it always gives you at least two choices of weapons you can use. I think. Hopefully I'm right on that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, because if like an axe in a Dragoon build doesn't work for you, you can go to like the other one.
The spear.
Yeah. And I think, because even stuff like Pugilist had, I'm going to say it properly, even Pugilist had stuff other than unarmed, or like there were two different types of unarmed.
No, that's what it was. I was using an axe as a monk, and it felt wrong.
Okay.
That's what because I was using a spear as a Dragoon, but it was the monk, because I was really looking forward to monk, and I was stuck with the axe. And I was like, why am I using an axe as a monk? Like, that makes no sense whatsoever.
But the fact you can use an axe as a monk means, like, you can make the jobs your own. So Jack is very much that JRPG protagonist of being able to use any job. Your companions, the other warriors of light that you have working through with you in the story, they have job upgrades, I believe. Because you start the game as a 3, Jack, Jed, and Ash.
Yes.
They start off as like the 3 warriors of light. I might just touch on the story overview.
Yeah, because Jack starts off as a swordman, and then Jed starts off... I can't remember who is who. Jed starts off as the pugilist, and then...
Ash is the thief.
Ash is the thief, yeah.
Yep. And the opening cutscene to the game basically follows off what Final Fantasy 1 is. Shows a armor-clad man being Garland, the first boss of Final Fantasy 1, capturing Princess Sarah and taking her off to his castle. Yeah. And then the king enlists the Warriors of Light to rescue Princess Sarah. And then from there, you start looking at fixing the land and going through the elemental stones, which is the basic plot of Final Fantasy 1. Correct me if I'm wrong there.
No, you're correct.
No, cool. Something also to note that I only found through research, which I saw, but something we probably could have explored. The game supports up to 3-player online co-op.
You can play with friends in this game, which I didn't do because I don't have any.
And we're in different time zones.
Yeah.
Yeah, which probably would have helped, but difficulty also scales. So I don't know that would have been the best experience for me.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
Good to know that you can do.
Yeah. And then, what did you think of the controls of this game? Because I thought that they were very smooth. I didn't have any issues with any of the controls in this game, and I thought that the button layout was a little weird at first because like your confirm and your pickup button is like
X,
basically the select button.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And I thought that was weird, but like I grew used to it over time.
Yeah, again, and it's something I'm finding with Crimson Desert. Having the attack on the right bumper takes some getting used to, but once you get used to it, it's alright. I'm really used to my attack button being X/square.
Yeah.
And no jump, which I did not like.
There wasn't a jump in this game, was there?
No.
But I mean, you didn't really need it.
No, the level design was pretty... Yeah, they've obviously facilitated for that. So basically, just to circle back to the gameplay loop quickly, was you select a mission from the overworld, you go into a dungeon, you fight through the dungeon picking up items because your stats are gear-based in this. The way you increase your stats and your leveling up is leveling up your gear and your job systems. You don't level up your character themselves per se. You go through, you fight a mini-boss, you find some more secrets, get more gear, increase that gear, and then fight a boss and level boss, and then complete the level and get some story, and rinse and repeat.
Yep.
I was overwhelmed with gear by the end. I just ended up using the equip best items quite quickly on in this game.
And that's what I did. And then I found out that I don't think that the auto-equip feature works for Jack.
Oh,
because it never did with me. And this is something that I paid attention to, but anytime I use the equip best gear ability or whatever function, Jack always came out with the same gear that was already on him. And like I said, I might be completely wrong about this, but if it is supposed to work for him, it wasn't for me.
Okay.
So I had to go through and manually put gear on him, but everyone else was always having the best gear equipped to them.
Yeah, right.
And then to solve my gear issue, because you had kind of forewarned me about this, there's a setting in the settings where you can auto dismantle gear at the end of each dungeon. So I just kept up on that, and so every time I would go into a new dungeon, I would figure out what level of gear I would get, and I would just auto dismantle everything 5 levels below that.
Yep. Yeah, because your inventory will quickly fill up, and there's nothing worse than finding an awesome piece of gear that you can't pick up in a dungeon because you haven't dismantled from the dungeon before.
Yeah. And then speaking of gear, is there anything to do with the starting equipment? Because that's stuff that you can't dismantle and you can't get rid of it.
Like the DLC stuff, or the
No, the starting gear, like the
okay.
traveler's attire or whatever
Oh
that you
right.
start the game with, because like I couldn't destroy it, I couldn't get rid of it, I couldn't dismantle it. Like, and it was just
I
sat there sitting up space.
Yeah. So with and I don't know if it's a DLC function because mine obviously came pre-installed to the game. You've got like additional storage, like on the main menu that you can move
Okay.
stuff to. Um, and I just moved it there.
Oh, I didn't really look at anything like that. I just played through the game.
Yeah, and I didn't really need it till Trial of the Dragon King DLC, which like starting level gear is 450. So it's like I was just overwhelmed with good gear. And I'm like, I don't actually know if I'll need this or not, so I'm gonna external storage it.
Okay,
And I don't know if
that's
the
fair.
box came with a DLC pack because of that.
Did you do any of the crafting stuff or whatever? Because when you dismantle gear, you get
Nah.
items from that, and then from with those items, you can like upgrade gear that you already have or something. But it's like, I'm an RPG player, so I hoarded all that in case I found something that I just really wanted to keep, but then I never did because I kept finding more stuff in dungeons that were just,
Yeah.
better gear. So it just kind of felt like a useless system that was put into this game.
Yeah, the dungeon always provides, so I didn't do any crafting.
And like, I mean, I guess I get it from like a replayability purpose, because if you do beat the game and this is your game that you're going to play for months and months and months afterwards, like
Hmm.
if you do find a set of gear that you want to keep, I guess that gives you that option to keep that gear and just continuously upgrade it.
Yeah, and I think by the time you get to DLC 2 and 3, you really need to start min-maxing your gear. Because I think, yeah, the DLCs are basically very hard mode. Um, because despite it being a Souls-like, there is difficulty. Um, However, you don't unlock the majority of stuff until um, until you play on the higher difficulties. I think is even one of the story missions gated by having to complete a level on chaos difficulty.
I don't think so, because I went
Okay.
through and I played all the levels, and then whenever I unlocked the side quest missions or whatever,
Hmm.
like I went and did those immediately, and I didn't. I don't remember being locked out of anything for difficulty's
Okay.
sake.
Might have been just the DLC then, because you needed to. I needed to go back and beat. I think 3 missions on chaos difficulty from the main game before I was able to start the DLC.
Oh, that might be a DLC thing then.
Yeah. Um, which I get, but also don't gate story DLC behind difficulty. Please, because that was hard. Like I had to really it's easy enough to beat the game on normal or hard even. But chaos is like a whole other bag. Like I had to grind a lot to be able to unlock that extra difficulty, like
Yeah,
the start of the DLC missions.
yeah, and then earlier you mentioned something about the combat combos. And I feel like we were in the same boat with the tutorial mission trying to do the combos, because we both couldn't figure it out. And like I remember asking you in Discord about, like, how do I fucking do this? Because like I'm pushing the buttons and the buttons aren't working, and
Yeah.
I can't do this. And it is kind of wonky, and they don't really kind of spell it out for you. They just say, oh well, you have this ability, you put this ability in this slot that is attuned to these button presses, and then you just push the buttons in order. And then like I was doing that, but um if you pay attention in the lower left part of your screen, Like there's a little thing that kind of changes with the button presses. Mm-hmm. So I guess as long as that little light up thing like changes to the ability that you're trying to use, like then when to use it. So that's what I started trying to do.
Yeah, because for listeners that haven't played the game, you've got a light attack, a heavy attack, a block, a parry, and then special abilities assigned to the D-pad.
Yeah.
I found the parry timing really shit as well.
I didn't use the parry. I used that special light block or whatever it was.
Yep.
Yeah, because I don't know that I read something that was the optimal one to use because it like did something special if you did it right or something. So that's just the one that I learned to use.
Was that the one on B button?
I think so. Circle?
Yeah. And you can also do some pretty cool finishes.
Yeah.
As well with enemies. Something to note. I was just going to say something quickly to note, in particular with the finishes, despite them just exploding into chunks of crystal. This was the first or maybe second M-rated Final Fantasy game.
I wouldn't know about that. I haven't looked at any ratings.
Yeah, so I think either because over here, obviously Australia is real funky with its ratings. It got an MA 15+, which is the equivalent to your guys' M Fenris over in the US. I think maybe Type 0 maybe was the only other M Final Fantasy at this time.
Okay.
But yeah, something interesting to note, because they swear it's very violent compared to other mainline Final Fantasy games.
Yes.
Yeah. Was there something else you were saying about combat? Sorry,
I was going to tack on something, but I don't remember what it was that I was going to say.
Okay.
Yeah, it's completely left my brain.
I'm on the fence about whether the game respects your time or not. Just with the whole difficulty gating stuff, and like, did you have to go back and replay main story levels to beat the game at all?
I mean, yeah, that's. I mean, yes, I did, but I don't think in the sense that you're asking, because the way the story levels are set out is like you have your map that you bring up, and then you go to these areas in them that are penned.
Yeah.
And then you beat that, and it unlocks another area on the map, and then you go there and you beat that, and it unlocks another area, and repeat ad nauseum. At a certain point, though, there are like, I guess, subquests that are unlocked as you defeat levels. And so, like, as those were unlocked, like, I tried to go back and complete them as soon as they were unlocked. Just because, because I was grinding out, like, the job system. Like, I wanted to get all the jobs to level 30 as soon as I could.
Yeah, no, that wasn't what I meant. Not so much the sub stuff that the game provided you. I mean, having to go back and like play the exact same level to like up your gear, or just purely to get extra XP for job systems. Not going and doing a new content in a map.
Yeah, no, I don't think I had to do that.
So do you think the game respected your time pretty well then?
I mean, for a game that I, beat in under 30 hours, I feel like it did. And I mean, there were a lot of things that I probably didn't do, and there were a lot of things that I probably missed, but I feel like it respected my time.
The quality of life was pretty good, apart from the save system, in my opinion.
I don't think I ever saved a single time.
Okay, so you like just did a dungeon to its entirety in a go.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Because, like, I mean, like, if I was doing the dungeon, I was doing it to completion. So, like, I'm assuming that you tried to get out of dungeons halfway through.
Yeah, and like there are save points throughout, but it's not a save anywhere system. Um, so that's a no from me in that regard. But everything else, quality of life wise, was really good. I'm just trying to remember the accessibility features if there was anything stand out there. It had your general, like, anything of a game post 2020, your subtitles, your colorblind mode, all that sort of stuff was present. I don't know if there was modifiers for like damage taken. I think there was, but I think it affected achievements.
Yeah, and there were a lot of settings in this game too. There were a lot of settings. I can't really think of any of them, but it's just like the detail that went into them, and the only one that I can really think of is the one I mentioned before about going into your settings and having all of your gear get like auto demolished or whatever the case may be as soon as you exited a dungeon. Like it was so in depth, and I didn't have any clue what any of it meant. Like, I was just hoping that I had set it up correctly.
Yeah. Like the stuff I'm reading just quickly now is like more gameplay, I guess, than quality of life, because you had your master points, obviously, which was like after you reach the level cap of 30, you can allocate master points to then further customize the stats of the job.
Yeah.
And in the DLC, there's something called extra mode, which provides near invincibility and infinite MP. Because it gives, like, yeah, just that. I think it disabled achievements, which is why I didn't use that, or I didn't look into it. And also in Trial of the Dragon King DLC, you can actually do the opposite and make it even harder on top of a harder difficulty by adding negative based modifiers, which then increases your Dragon Troll points, which is... I'll talk about that when we talk about the story there. But basically you use Dragon Troll points to unlock further bits of that DLC.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very fun.
No. That's where my extra 10 hours came from. It's only like a 5-hour DLC, but it turned into a 10-hour one.
Yeah, so music. I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It hit with every song, and I think for me, this isn't the song we're going to use for the break, but I think one of the most notable songs that I had was the Tiamat battle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that one.
If you like heavy metal, you're going to like the music in this game.
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely.
It kind of fits with like the dark, edgy kind of Final Fantasy that we're going for here. That being said, like there were some like emotional paced ones as well that were done quite well. Sakamoto-san just did a really good job with the composition of this music.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was also, and it's really bad of me to forget this, but the vocal track as well was really good. I'm just trying to remember what that was.
Yeah, I remember the vocal track, but I don't remember it. I remember there being one, but I don't remember it.
Yeah. Oh
So while
yeah,
you
and
look,
also
go ahead.
My Way by Frank Sinatra was also used a
Oh
couple of
yeah,
times, which I didn't really gel with. I get it, but yeah, I was thinking of the female-led vocal track. But yeah, Frank Sinatra's "My Way" was used in it. Um, the story beats like it fit, but yeah, I definitely prefer Sakamoto's orchestral stuff and the heavy guitar riffs and stuff, particularly for the boss fights.
yeah. I mean, all the boss fight themes like really slapped. Like
Yep.
they were very good, and they definitely added everything that you could need to the combat of this game.
Mhm. I really
Um,
like the magic sound effects as well.
yeah, yeah. The sound effects for the magic were really good. Um, gonna touch back on combat mechanics, but like I really like how casters casted their spells, because
Mhm.
it was really interesting because you had like a radial wheel to where you
Mm.
picked what spell you chose, and then you held a button, and the longer you held the button, the stronger the attack got. And
Mhm.
it kind of showed you like whether like this is the first spell that came to mind, but cure, like you start off with cure, and then it goes to Kira, and then Kiraga, and then regen, and then Kiraja, and all that. And it was really
Yep.
cool.
Yeah, I did enjoy how it kind of cast it. You had to hold it in to cast the higher levels of magic or the tiers.
Yeah. And then the ambient sound effects were also really good too. Like there were the only one that's coming to mind right now is when you're in that jungle place, and you have
Mhm.
to switch it from dry to rainy, and you just hear the rain all over the place. That was really good. I really like that.
Yep. Same with the snow level was a standout one for me. Um, like the sounds of the blizzard, and it becomes muffled when you go into a cave, and yeah, it just hit all the right notes sound effect wise.
Yeah.
Even in the caves and hearing like the steady drip, drip, drip of stalactites and things like that. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna call it the pirate level. Um, you know what I mean when we get
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
And then what did you think of the voice acting?
Well, I Oh, first off, did you play this in English or Japanese?
English.
Same. I really feel for poor Mosi and Melvin, who voiced Jack, because this was his last voice credit. He's got 3 credited roles for animation stuff, and this was the last time he's acted. So I hope he wasn't bullied out of this, and I hope his memeage didn't like force him to quit voice acting. Um, because I feel like he played the character of Jack well, and I feel like there's a story reason why Jack sounded the way he did, and or there's a reason why he has a singular focus, I guess, on killing K-Horse. Um,
Yeah, it's that all that is explained in the story.
yeah, and I feel like late game Jack, and there was definitely like an improvement, I guess, for want of a better word, in terms of his voice acting. Because once the curtain falls down, I guess, and Jack realizes his purpose and what he has to do outside of just kill chaos. Um, there was definitely some breadth and depth there.
Yeah,
and
I
similarly,
agree.
similarly for Ash, who's voiced by Mark Neely, Jed, who's voiced by Alejandro Saab. And do we want to talk about the other two party members?
I mean, I guess we can.
Yeah. Neon and Sophia, who are voiced by Alejandro Reynoso and Laura Post, respectively. Like, they're all voice actors in their own right. Particularly Alejandro Saab is the biggest one, or the most well-known one from that. Again, they start stilted in a very Silent Hill way, but there's a reason for that, because as you progress through the game and you recruit them all, you start finding out that everyone has amnesia, but they don't know why.
Yeah.
So that's definitely the reason behind the meme, I guess, of like their stilted voice acting. I don't know. It's probably my very much my bias around the actress, but Princess Sarah just grated on me. It's probably like meant to be, because Jeremy Lee is like, you know, it's her straight away, because she voices every little girl in anime. Like, she's Lucy out of Fairy Tail, for context, for those. And Sarada out of Boruto, Asuna out of Sword Art Online. All annoying characters, in my opinion.
Yeah, she did have a voice that was kind of grating and kind of annoying, and it was that high pitched, like almost cutesy kind of voice. And I think she was a fantastic character, but like her voice just wasn't very good.
Yep. Todd Habercrom also plays Astos, who is the Dark Elf boss from Final Fantasy 1. And of course we've got All Might Vegeta, Chris Sabat voicing Garland.
Yeah. And there's a whole other slew of people who are casted in this game. But they're mostly just additional voices.
Yeah. Fred Tassitore plays the king. He does a lot of Incredible Hulk stuff. And then, Kurt Thornton did additional voices. Greg Chun did additional voices. Yeah, so, like, voice acting cream of the crop, essentially. Except for poor Mosian, who did the main character and then just vanished into existence.
I mean, not necessarily, because bringing up his IMDb after Strangers of Paradise, let's see, he did some TV work. He was in Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was just additional voices.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. But that's it. And then he's been in 25 episodes of Beyond Skinwalker Ranch, but he's the narrator of a TV series, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
That might be interesting to hear. Hear how much is him and how much is Jack.
Yeah.
But yeah, by the end, I had no problems with the voice acting. Like,
yeah, it was all very well done. And then I know we've touched a little bit on this, but the visual style was very, very dark.
yeah.
It was like a dark fantasy vibe almost. There were parts in the game that were more bright, such as like the parts where you go to the castle and you're talking to the king and whatnot. Like those parts were very bright, and well lit and colored. And then the dungeons were not muted, but the visual style just gave the dungeons just like a different feel almost.
Yeah, each dungeon was unique. However, I don't know that I can praise each individual dungeon design itself. Like, I don't know whether it was texture problems or what, but I was on Ultra with this game, and some of the dungeons look pretty ratchet, if I'm being honest. Like the textures of the walls and like the pathways just weren't really up to scratch, in my opinion.
That's fair.
And it almost, not quite as bad as Dragon Age 2, but we almost suffered from the hallway effect, because it was very linear for majority of the dungeons. There wasn't much room for exploration, and you can definitely tell like which bits were meant to be background bits and which ones were meant to be main bits. So I think it kind of suffered from the hallway effect in that kind of sense.
Could be, yeah.
But character and armor design, I just can't praise enough. And even enemy design.
Well, that's where all their visual style went.
Yeah, that's where all the funding went for visuals. Stuff the levels, we want to put it into armor. Because the millions of armor pieces like made it into cutscenes as well.
Oh yeah.
Took me ages to find the toggle helmet off in cutscenes once again. Not the first game that I've done that in.
Yeah, I don't remember where that was, but I know it was kind of hidden.
Yep. And also at some points, there was a little bit of armor inconsistency.
You froze.
From cutscenes. Like, I'd be wearing a certain armor, but it'd go to, like, the class generic armor sometimes in cutscenes. I was just saying that sometimes I had some inconsistencies with armor in cutscenes. Like, depending on... It would sometimes go to, like, the class default. Or the job default armor in cutscenes. As opposed to what I was actually wearing in the level.
I gotta be honest, I don't think I really paid that much attention to it. Or maybe I didn't notice, because like, okay. I mean, really, you're with every dungeon run that you do, like you're swapping gear out left, right, and center. So like, yeah, so like I wasn't really paying attention to what was in the cutscenes.
Yeah. That's fair.
I didn't either.
I didn't have any performance issues.
Then again, we were playing this game 5 years after release, so...
Yeah, with a couple of updates and a full DLC release, so yeah, I think they sorted out any performance type stuff pretty early on.
And then we've already been over the basic premise of the game. You got 3 heroes that are warriors of light, and you know, they pick up a couple people and go deal with crystals and then sort out chaos, and that's basically it.
Something interesting to note, I guess, about this game's basic premise, as opposed to, in contrast to Final Fantasy 1, that they identify pretty early on, is that the Warriors of Light have dark crystals to begin with, and this is even noted by the king, at the start of the game, because he talks about the prophecy, the warriors of light having crystals shining with the elements, blah 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 blah. But these warriors of light have dark crystals, and it kind of throws their I guess legitimacy into doubt to start off with.
Yeah, and this is where I was intrigued, because I was trying to figure out where the story was going to go, because I don't know if it's in any of the other games, but in Final Fantasy XIV there are warriors of darkness. So I was wondering if that was going to be a route that this game took, and I'll not say anything for spoilers. So but as far as the characters go, I feel like they were well written. You know, and like we've stated before, like they're all about killing chaos, and they don't know why, because amnesia. And I feel like, you know, the story writers handled all of that really well.
100%. I think they really threw themselves into, I guess, the premise of, oh, this is a Final Fantasy 1 remake at the very start, because even when we meet Neon and Sophia, they're very generic characters for the first half of the game, almost to the point where your characters are very generic in Final Fantasy 1. Like, you choose their class and that's what they are. You can name them whatever you want, but you don't follow any character development through Final Fantasy 1. So I think the story writers really rode with that wave of like, oh yeah, we're going to tell people this is a remake of Final Fantasy 1 by keeping the characters really generic, and then they kind of turn it on its head in the second half of the game from there.
Yeah, and it's not, they don't do it in like a twist way where it's out of left field. It's definitely a gradual transition.
Because I think at the end of every boss fight, when Jack interacts with a new crystal, he gains back some memories.
Yeah.
I think that's right, isn't it?
Yeah. And then while you're exploring these dungeons, you can find like, I don't know what they're called. Logs. Yeah, audio logs. Yeah, from the Luthinians, and they also kind of give some backstory as to like the goings on, and they also kind of like piece together a little bit of what's going on outside of what you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I found all of them, but like they were really cool little snippets. They kind of gave you more insight as to, like I said, what was really going on in the game. But
yeah,
I can't think of any like emotional impact that really happened for me. Because like the memorable line that I remember, or not that I remember, but I remember like the context around it was like one of the very last lines spoken in the base game.
Yeah, that part was pretty. Yeah, mine's related to a spoiler, so I can't really say it. But essentially, the not the final boss fight, but close to the final boss fight.
Mm-hmm.
Was pretty emotional for me.
Oh, and yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
We're on the same page.
Yeah.
Also, Astos's arc was very good in this game, and his ending was quite emotional as opposed to his Final Fantasy 1 counterpart.
Yeah, Astos was a bro. I really liked Astos. He was such a fantastically written character.
Yeah. Compared to being just the classic dark elf
Yeah,
archetype.
and the cool thing about him is that like when you first are introduced to him, he's just like this dick. You know, he's not a
Mob
very
boss.
likable character. And then,
Yeah.
you know, as the story unfolds, like you get to see more of the onion layers peeled back, and you start to see him for who he really is, and he is a fantastically written character. I really enjoyed Astos.
In terms of world building, I don't know if you knew this, but every like um level is actually has a link to a Final Fantasy game, like a mainline Final Fantasy game.
I did not.
Yeah. Which kind of gave it like a I thought each level was going to be separately independent to the world and was going to be like each little multiverse thing. And there's a small track there to spoiler territory, but it didn't end up being what I thought it would be. Um, yeah, so each of the because I think there's what 15 worlds,
Something like that.
and each of them is related to a mainline Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm just looking through it now. Yeah, even 11 and 14.
Oh,
Because, like, for example, Mount Golg is from Shadowbringers
yes.
expansion in 14. Yeah. And, what's another big one? Pravok Saragrot is the homage to Basard in Final Fantasy X. Um, the Sunken Shrine is Shinra from Final Fantasy VII.
You know, I think I did notice that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, because I was following along like a level guide, not necessarily a
Yep.
guide, but like seeing like where I was in the game by what level I was on. And I did note that Mount Gold was in this, and I was like, huh, that's weird.
Yeah. I was obviously oblivious to it, having only played one Final Fantasy prior. But I think that's such a great homage that they did do through it, and really makes it immersive for those with the wider knowledge of Final Fantasy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, and with that, I feel like, I feel like the story was compelling enough to carry. I mean, the story and the gameplay were both, in my opinion, fantastic, and that kept me playing. And then, you
Yep.
know, tied in with the job system, like, I didn't find myself, you know, needing more.
No. I didn't really start dropping off till the post game, to be honest, because I'd maxed out the jobs that I wanted, and the story kept me going because again, I think for someone who's played the majority of mainline Final Fantasy games, like this would keep you hooked for well over 100 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Because the other two or the two DLCs that I didn't play, um, oh, the one no, I can't talk about the third one because that's main story related. But the first two DLCs are about Bahamut and Gilgamesh.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I completed the Bahamut one because he's my favorite summon. So I'm like, I'm all in for this. And I don't have any context around Gilgamesh, so I kind of fell off on that one because they in the opening cutscene to that DLC, it's got him like coming through a portal into your world, and I'm like, okay, am I meant to know who this is? And then Astos is like, oh, that's Mighty Gilgamesh, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, okay, I don't know who that is, so
You will learn.
Okay.
I don't remember
Which
when
final?
he. I don't. I was about to say I don't remember which Final Fantasy he makes his first reveal in, but
Okay.
once he does, he's pretty much a staple and all the others.
Yeah, cool. Um, so would you replay it?
Oh, absolutely.
Starting from the base game or starting from the DLC?
Well, I've already beaten the base game, so I'd probably start off with the DLC, and then because I didn't manage to beat my goal of getting all the jobs to level 30 like I wanted, but I got
Okay.
really close, and that just takes some grinding. Um, Although there are a couple things that you could do to, because they have these like, it's like Lumina orbs or something, I think they're called,
Mm-hmm.
and you could
Yep.
use those to just power level your jobs, and there are
Have
ways
I
to grind them. So
have I got news for you? Every DLC increases the level cap of both gear and jobs.
oh yeah, more grinding.
So that would keep you occupied for a long time.
Yeah.
Just going back to jobs, because honestly, I don't think the base game itself has enough in it for me to do a second replay of the base game itself just after beating it. But the DLC definitely, like I've already said at the start of the episode, I plan to go back to it. Did you have like a go-to job?
It's whatever job I
Jack?
was leveling at the time.
Okay.
I never went back to one. I never favored one. Uh, One that I thought was a lot of fun was Paladin. I really enjoyed Paladin. I really
Okay.
enjoyed Dark Knight, and I really enjoyed Warrior.
Yep.
Because, like, Warrior is just
Um,
big axe wielding, you hit things and get health back, and it was refreshing to play Dark Knight because in Final Fantasy XIV, Dark Knight is not what it should be, which is you expunge your health to do big damage, and they've kind of done away with that over the years. So it was really nice to actually be able to play Dark Knight for what it's supposed to be.
yeah, cool. You might not have experienced these ones because I don't know which ones are DLC or not. In the early jobs, I really enjoyed Red Mage because it's not like, because I haven't been exposed to Final Fantasy too much. It's something I've never really used before. Um, and then my go-to one was Void Knight, though.
I played a little bit of Void Knight a lot. Um, let's see. I was excited for Red Mage, but I didn't really understand how it played
Okay.
because it plays very differently than what I'm used to in 14, and that's not saying a whole lot. Because in 14 you have this thing called dual cast where you do a long cast and then you get a proc for your dual cast, which would make your next cast like instant. So, and then just like, and it could just be that I didn't really like take the time to actually figure out the chain cast stuff on it, and that's my fault. But
Yeah. I really wanted to try out Gambler. Again, I'm pretty sure that's a DLC
it is.
class, but it goes down the ranged, like its main one is like the gun. So I didn't use that, didn't like those weapons much at all, didn't like the ranged weapons much. So I never really used it, but it was interesting, to say the least.
Yeah. See, I'm interested because for all the expert jobs, I'm pretty sure the DLC ones are Cyclic Warrior, Summoner, Blue Mage, and Gambler. Because I want to say I unlocked Tyrant, Liberator, and Void Knight. I was excited to play Sage, but I never got around to it because Sage is basically an amalgamation of White Mage and Black Mage.
Yep.
And then
Neon was my healer. So I never really used it. Yeah.
And that's something we didn't really touch on. You can't really do any customization for your companions, because like, and at least I didn't notice this, but like with Neon as like a support role basically, with all the jobs that she was given, I didn't really notice too much healing going out if I wasn't a healer. No. Like everyone else just kind of took care of themselves.
I enjoyed that though, because the enemies got to the point where I couldn't really be worrying about anyone else because I was too busy trying not to die.
That's fair.
At certain points, yeah. And you also had a heap of potions as well, so I just, worried about myself, and I guess Neon did the rest.
Yeah.
She was part of my 3 anyway. I think I went Neon, Jed, and Jack.
Yeah, I had Jack, Ash, and Neon. I liked Neon. She was a really good character.
Yeah.
And Ash just kind of gave me vibes, Prompto vibes from 15, so that's why I kept him around.
Okay. Yep.
But out of all that, I mean, even there was only the one ending. There's a lot of side quests. Like you said, there's 3 DLCs. But like, I feel like that's more than enough content for this game.
Yeah, you'll easily get 200 hours if you try to min-max the DLC.
Yeah. And then moments that stick with me. It's a spoiler, so hang around if you want to know what that is from me. And I'm assuming what you said, the same was true for you.
Yeah, 100%. Might just dive into ratings then.
Sure.
If that's all right with you.
Yeah.
This will be a fun from me. I think that everybody needs to look past the memes and give it a go. Because even if you are... I think the game has a real strength in the fact that even if you're new to Final Fantasy, this can be a very good jumping in point. And if you are a long-time Final Fantasy player, this game will give you a lot of nostalgia and homage and good times, and give you something that hadn't really been in the series before Final Fantasy 16. I feel like this game went through a lot of trepidation so that Final Fantasy 16 could be as good as it was. And definitely, if you like Team Ninja stuff, this will also scratch your itch for that. So I guess this is just a game for everyone. Everyone should play this game. If you like Final Fantasy, if you want to get into Final Fantasy, and if you like action games, this game is for you.
Yeah. I couldn't have put it better myself. And something that I wanted to touch on when you said that it's a good jumping in point for people who have played other Final Fantasy games, really pay attention to the music, because as you're going to see for our music break before the spoiler wall, the music that I chose is called Places of Amalgamation, and it's a motif from the Sunleth Waterscape. And it's an original piece for this game, but there are bits and pieces of another track from another Final Fantasy game, and I thought it was really well done. And they do that with a lot of the game, with a lot of this game's music. So I just wanted to touch on that real quick before saying that this game is also a fun for me for a lot of the points that you yourself mentioned.
Shit, I didn't even talk in music. How good was the recomposition of the Final Fantasy theme?
Oh, it was so good.
For like the ending cutscene. Yeah.
So good.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, well, thank you guys once again for listening. Oh, yeah, do you want to read out the listener correspondence before I jump into...
Yeah, I forgot to add in who it was by, so could you look that up while I read this? It's quite a lot. So we did have one listener correspondence for this game, and it reads simply as this. I want to kill chaos. Literally kill chaos. No other character can come close to relating how much I want to kill chaos. There is no way you can convince me not to kill chaos. Killing chaos could not possibly be any more me. I want to kill chaos, and nobody can convince me otherwise. If anyone approached me on the topic of not killing chaos, then I immediately shut them down with overwhelming evidence that I want to kill chaos. I want to kill chaos. It's indisputable. Why anybody would try to argue that I shouldn't kill chaos is beyond me. If you held two pictures of me and killing chaos side by side, you'd see no difference. I can safely think of killing chaos every day and say, yep, that's me. I can practically see killing chaos every time I look at myself in the mirror. I go outside and people stop me to comment how much I want to kill chaos. I chuckle softly as I'm assured every day that I want to kill chaos in every way. I can smile each time I get out of bed every morning knowing that I found my identity with wanting to kill chaos, and I know my place in this world. It's really quite funny how much I want to kill chaos. It's not a hope or a dream. It's a hunger, a thirst.
So that was from listener Suriel, one of our Italian listeners, and I did double check with them that they were happy for us to read it out on the show. They're obviously taking the meme to the extreme, but thank you for your correspondence regardless. If you'd like to be like Suriel and troll us for whatever game that we're playing, I post up some like pre-show stuff, normally a week in advance, over at Infinite Backlog, Spectre approved. If you'd like to support the show financially, head on over to patreon.com/Spectre approved. For as little as $3.50 US, $5 per month, you can support the show there, get some early episodes and our pre-episode chatter. Also, head on over to the Discord, because we're part of the Steam Machine Computer Gaming Podcast Network, which is bit.ly/TSMP Discord, all caps.
And speaking of Discord, it is led by our benevolent leader, Dalton Suter, aka Now the Nightmare. If you like the music at the beginning and ending of our episodes, you can go find his stuff at nowthenightmare.bandcamp.com. If you want to listen to his other stuff, you can find him at Dalton Suter on YouTube, where he does a bunch of covers and guitar stuff. He's really good. Go give him a listen. I'm Fenris. You can find me everywhere by that name, Fenris Wolfsbane, on Discord, Steam, Epic, EA, GOG, Final Fantasy XIV on Gilgamesh, and I believe it's the same one on Xbox Game Pass. I don't remember. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
We've finally converted you to Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
I love it. There's going to be some good games on there that might come up for the show.
Yeah.
But you can find me. I use the Spectre Approved moniker basically everywhere. Blue Sky, X, Instagram. Head on over to Infinite Backlog, like I said before, Spectre Approved, where you can see the list of upcoming games for the show. Probably up until was it 50 games? I think we had up there.
No, it's more than 50 games, because I did the show notes up to 50 games, and that was like 3/4 of the list.
Okay, so like basically the next 2 years of the podcast are up there. If you would like to see what we're playing, to either play along with us or put some correspondence up as well. And if you would be so kind as to rate, share, and put forward questions for the next episode, which the next game is Jade Empire. Not Void Stranger.
It was Jade Empire the whole time, I swear. Yeah, and before we log off for the music break and the spoiler wall, I want to announce for everybody that I have commissioned an artist to update the splash art for our podcast. So look forward to that. I'm going to go ahead and shout him out. His name is Lazarus, as in like the Lazarus Pits, the man who rose from the dead. And you can find all of his stuff on Instagram and TikTok at Lazarus Arts. So go check him out. His art is really good, and he's been sending me daily updates on everything that he's been working on as far as what I commissioned him for. And I cannot wait to show this to everybody. It's going to be so good.
Excellent. I really look forward to it, because I haven't seen anything either, so it'll be a surprise for me as well.
Yes, that's your choice.
Yeah, I know. One thing I completely forgot. We've recently gotten an affiliate link. So with keysite k4g.com, if you head over there to buy your games, just type in Spectre approved in the little coupon bit, and a small percentage of the purchase goes to us to help support us in that space as well. I've used K4G for a bunch of stuff. They're super quick. I normally get my keys same day, unless it's a pre-order. Obviously, they don't break street date or anything like that. But if you see a good deal on there, I use ggdeals.com to kind of filter what the best deal is going around from there. So if you're so inclined to use that site, feel free to chuck our affiliate in. Doesn't get you guys a discount, unfortunately, but the discounts are pretty much good enough over there already.
All right. And so with that, we're going to move on to our music break, which is the song that I said just a little while ago, Places of Amalgamation. And then we're going to move on to the spoiler section, where we go through the entire story of this game.
See you guys there. Hello, everyone, and welcome back on the other side of our music wall, where we go into the spoiler section for Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin.
Alright, so starting the game, main character Jack arrives in the kingdom of Cornelia, determined to destroy chaos, the darkness plaguing the world. He's joined by Ash and Jed, two warriors with the same mission. The king of Cornelia is skeptical because the prophecy calls for 4 warriors of light and not 3 with shining crystals, while they are only 3 and carry black crystals. Despite this, the king allows them into the Shrine of Chaos, and inside the shrine they seemingly defeat chaos, but instead they discover Neon, a young woman carrying another black crystal. Neon explains she sought chaos 10 years earlier and learned that chaos was not a real being, but a myth humans created to explain the darkness. And then she attempted to absorb all darkness herself and become a singular chaos figure that the heroes could defeat, but failed. Jack rejects her explanation and insists chaos must still exist, and then Neon joins the group as the 4th warrior of light. The group realizes all of them suffer from memory loss, and Jack theorizes that their memories were removed to stop emotional attachments from interfering with their mission. Back at the castle, the king tasks them with restoring the 4 elemental crystals: wind, fire, earth, and water, and as the warriors then meet Astos, the king of the Dark Elves, who guides them towards the Wind Crystal. During their search, they are transported to the Flying Fortress, a space station orbiting the planet. They defeat Tiamat, the fiend guarding the Wind Crystal, who reverts into Sophia, another fallen hero. Sophia joins the group, and the Wind Crystal is restored. And here's where the mishmash of is it a remake or is it a prequel kind of falls apart or gets solidified. Because now there are 5 of them. So the party continues towards the earth and fire crystals, and by defeating monsters and absorbing the dark mist they release into their crystals, they begin recovering fragments of their memory. They remember that they all come from a distant land beyond Cornelia. They defeat Lich and Merilith, restoring the earth and fire crystals. And on their journey to the water crystal, Neon reveals she is different from the others. Unlike them, she was born in Cornelia. She remembers Astos personally gave her a crystal, and they defeat the Kraken and restore the water crystal. After restoring all 4 crystals, the warriors return to Cornelia expecting peace, and instead darkness has grown stronger. The people accuse them of serving chaos, and monsters and darkness-corrupted pirates attack the city. After defending Cornelia, the warriors confront Astos, and he reveals that he is an observer working for the Luthinians, an advanced civilization capable of interdimensional travel. His purpose was to monitor the balance of light and darkness in Cornelia. And then he attacks the warriors, and then upon defeating him, the party regain more memories. Jack and the others remember that they are strangers, which are agents sent from another world by Luthinia, and their mission has always been to destroy the darkness in Cornelia. They have actually been sent to Cornelia many times before, and after every failed attempt, Luthinia resets the world and erases their memories. Their memories are stored inside the crystals that they carry, so Jack and his allies secretly worked with Astos to overthrow Luthinia's control. Astos explains Luthinia fears darkness because darkness mixed with human emotion creates true chaos, something they cannot control. And then Astos reveals that the darkness stored in his body will spread across the world upon his death, and after he dies, the darkness engulfs Cornelia. And this is what I was talking about, because after they regain their memories, Jack learns that him and Astos were like best friends. And Astos didn't want to do anything except help Jack with his memory. And it's just a really good story. So after...
was that your emotional one?
No.
Cool.
No. I was just remarking on how good that little side story was.
Yeah.
But after Jack and the others rush back to Cornelia, they fail to save the people. Princess Sarah dies in Jack's arms. Jack regains all of his memories, revealing that he and Sarah were in love. Overcome with despair, Jack becomes vulnerable to darkness, so Ash, Jed, Neon, and Sophia attack Jack intentionally. That was my emotional moment. Because they force him to kill them in self-defense, and by killing them, Jack absorbs all the darkness that they had accumulated, and this allowed Jack to become chaos himself. So the thing with that was that they had recovered their memories a lot sooner than Jack had, and so they had planned with each other to do this, to sacrifice themselves so that Jack could become chaos, the very thing that they were sent to destroy. So Jack opens up a portal to Lufinia, and he absorbs the darkness manifest, which was a concentrated embodiment of chaos-infused darkness. Lufinia severs its connection to Cornelia out of fear of chaos infection, and before leaving, they warn Jack that warriors of light will eventually rise against him. And so Jack realizes that this is exactly what Cornelia needs, and by becoming chaos, he can create conditions that force true native warriors of light to emerge. So these heroes will both destroy him and the darkness, permanently freeing Cornelia from dependence on either Lufinia or chaos. So Ash, Jed, Neon, and Sophia return as Jack's four fiends, and they send Jack back 2,000 years into the past. And so he takes up the name Garland, and he waits in his throne room for the future warriors of light to fulfill the cycle.
Yes. Fucking cool.
Yeah. And like, that story was done so well. And like, I kind of saw it coming as soon as Sophia was entered into the picture. And I was like, there's 5 of them now. So like, and they're all about killing chaos. And the only way that I feel like this could go is like, if the 4 party members become Chaos's 4 fiends and Jack is Chaos. And really, if you think about it, they let you know who Jack is at the very beginning of the game. Yeah, because with that really fucking sick cutscene that they play at the very beginning of the game, like Garland is walking through the castle just killing like knights left, right, and center, and he's doing it by turning them into red crystals, which is Jack's killing move.
Yep. Yeah, so good.
Yeah.
And the starting, like you said, the starting cutscene is the same as the end cutscene, which kind of leads into the first Final Fantasy, of which you play the actual Warriors of Light going to confront Jack.
Yep. Or in that case, Garland.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he says his name's Jack Garland.
Yeah.
Like he's always had the last name Garland throughout.
It's just you don't know it until the very last. And the memorable line I had was, I don't remember exactly what it was he said, but it was something kind of poetic about becoming chaos and waiting for the true warriors of light to come and kill him.
Do you want me to talk about Trials of the Dragon King? It has a little bit of story, but not too much.
Sure.
So basically what happens with Trials of the Dragon King is it picks up immediately after the main story ends, and shows Jack confronting the first, I guess, batch of Warriors of Light. You defeat them quite easily, and the only one that survives is the guy from the front cover of like the Pixel Remaster, the guy with the horns and the sword and shield.
Okay.
And then he ends up running away. But then Jack senses a strange presence, and he goes into the Dragon Cave, and where he meets Bahamut, who's come from another dimension, I guess, and you need to beat his trials. Because Jack wants the Warriors of Light to get stronger. He wants them to defeat him. And Bahamut promises to aid Jack in crafting and meeting some Warriors of Light and training them to make them stronger. So you go and do the trials. Bahamut grants Jack and the Fiends more power. And then you eventually fight Bahamut to, I guess, prove yourself to him. And he then promises that those who prove their courage to him will be granted power, so they may become Warriors of Light worthy of the name.
Oh.
And, yeah.
See, it's funny because, like, I don't think Bahamut actually makes an appearance in Final Fantasy until 3?
Yeah, I don't believe he's in Final Fantasy 1 either.
Let's see. He is the god of the Eidolons. And the character that you spoke of on the cover of the Pixel Remaster, his name is simply Warrior of Light.
Oh, okay.
Apparently he does make an appearance in Final... Oh, he does! I forgot about that. Yeah, he's found underneath the Cardian Islands. He can't be summoned, but there's a side quest that you go there for.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, once again, just ties in with the first one.
Yeah.
The main thing here is, the new jobs of Pilgrim, Evoker, and Summoner. Stave's weapon is added to the base game. And introduces Bahamut difficulty, which allows you to go up to level 400 with items.
Cool.
And also unlocks job classes to level 40.
At some point, we'll jump into that.
Yeah, I haven't played Wander of the Rift in Different Future, so I don't want to, talk to them. But yeah, it just provides more story content. You get Blue Mage job in Wander of the Rift, it unlocked in the base game, and then Different Future, which unlocks Lufinia difficulty, and that's it. Yeah. It just unlocks more marksman, hunter, and gambler jobs.
Yeah.
And the gun weapon class added to the base game. So you probably didn't even have a gun at all.
No.
Okay. You were probably like, what the hell is Adam talking about? Guns.
No,
okay.
no, I knew that there was a gun class introduced. And I remember seeing something about a weapon that I couldn't equip or something. I don't remember. Maybe it was I don't remember, but I remember seeing something specifically about, or I might be not cross-referencing, but getting games mixed up between this and a different game. But I want to say I remember seeing guns in the base game, but I might be misremembering that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really a fan then, knowing that whole thing was locked behind DLC. Free title update, yeah. But I understand the classes, but not the weapon types.
Well, I mean, it does kind of make sense, because if you can't unlock a gun class until a DLC, there's no point in having that weapon type in the base game.
Oh, no, but I had it in the base game. I didn't have to get up to the DLC to unlock it.
But you had the DLC.
Yeah.
I do not.
But what I mean is they could have done that in a free title update for all players rather than have it gated. Fair enough, have the story and the classes behind DLC, but not necessarily the weapons. That, because it changes combat in a whole perspective that that I think would benefit from the base game. Like, I didn't really like the classes, so I didn't use them. But, I don't know.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really confused by the story. I feel like it was told well, but I needed some clarification. Because, like, whilst we've already had a spoiler wall here, I'm mindful of spoiling potentially other Final Fantasy games. Are Lufinians the mob in the other new-ish Final Fantasy game?
The other new-ish? What do you mean?
One that's a remake, but that... Are they the people in Final Fantasy VII Remake that deal with all that extra stuff?
I don't know. I'm not that far yet.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't want to spoil anything then. Are Lufinians in other Final Fantasy games that you're aware of?
I don't think so.
Because I feel like they may be, and again, this is just speculation here, that they may be being introduced as like the whole, like overarching kind of people.
Yeah.
Like that we may interconnect worlds from this. Like I know, because 14 did something similar, didn't they? They had some multiverse thing, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so the only other appearance is Dissidia.
Yeah.
Which is the multiverse fighting game.
And I'm not seeing anything that tells me that... Because according to the wiki, Lufinia is a location in Final Fantasy Dimensions inhabited by the Lufinian, whose language is different from the rest of the world, and others can understand the language if they have the Rosetta Stone. But it's been so long since I've played the original Final Fantasy game that I don't remember.
Yeah, they are in Final Fantasy 1.
Yeah.
Or Final Fantasy Dawn of Souls, at least, which is the remake, I believe. Like the pixel remaster. Like it's showing me a pixel sprite, so I'm guessing they're in Final Fantasy 1.
Could be.
Yeah, so it seems like it's just a Final Fantasy 1 / Dissidia thing. Which is cool. Oh, yeah. Yeah, back in the NES version. Yeah, cool. Ooh, and apparently Nil becomes a boss in the final DLC. Who is the Lufinian that Jack was speaking to in the cutscenes.
Oh.
Very interested to go back to it now.
See, like, I want to play through Final Fantasy again.
Yeah, I've got the Pixel Remaster installed on my PC, and talking about this has kind of made me go, oh yeah, do I actually want to go back and just play Final Fantasy 1 to see how it stacks up?
Because I kind of want to do, like, it would be expensive, but I kind of want to do, like, an all-black mage party.
Okay. Interesting. But we'll save some party builds. I already told you my party build that I've got going on my run that I've suspended at the moment, but yeah, we'll save that for the Final Fantasy 1 episode.
Yeah.
I found it, like, obviously they're in Final Fantasy 1 already, but I just love the portrayal of the, like, characters, the side characters like BK and all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got that far with him yet in Final Fantasy 1. Garland was a big pushover, so I'm guessing the Warriors of Light are the ones that are strong enough to defeat Garland and get Sarah back.
Well, you'll see.
It's kind of sad that he didn't get to be with Sarah.
Yeah.
But I suppose it's not really his Sarah.
And I mean, like, yeah. Yeah, you got a point there.
And if they went back, they sent him back in time, and he was prepping, and the Sarah that he took at the end of the game was still a Sarah, but not one that had met him and fallen in love with him, obviously.
Probably not, no.
Yeah, timey-wimey bullshit. But yeah, that is the story of Final Fantasy Origins, guys. A really short spoiler, but it's a lot of it gets drip fed to you over the game, and I was actually quite confused till I went back to the wiki and just went, what the hell is going on? But yeah, it was just such a good moment at the end as well, when it turns out your 4 party members were the 4 fiends.
Yeah.
Because again, similar kind of spoiler to another RPG that got released last year that we've done for the show. But I don't want to touch on the spoilers with that, about how main characters are kind of linked to bosses in the game. That I'll just tell you off mic because you're looking at me confused.
Yeah. I'm not remembering this game, but tell me off mic.
You will when I tell you.
Yeah.
And just how they ended up being the 4 fiends just ended up making so much sense when it was revealed. Yeah, so good. So guys, once again, go play this game, and join us next time when we talk about Jade Empire.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun. It's just late and I'm getting kind of tired.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll wrap it up there. We did all our socials at the top end of the episode. So thank you once again by listening. Our ending track is, as always, done by Noel the Nightmare. This has been Spectre approved. I am Adam.
And I'm Fenris.
And happy gaming.
Bye.